Sorry about that, Rich.
Are we live?
We're live.
Is it live?
Yeah.
Okay, we're live. All right. Hey, this is Johnny Bean over on the David Nesdahl Network. You guys can see what happens over here. We got Jay Hannon.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, man. David Nesdahl, of course.
Hey.
Pushing all the wrong buttons.
All the wrong buttons.
And Dave, who do we have? Who's with you tonight, man?
Richie Cannata is here with us.
Richie. Hey.
Hey, Richie.
Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Awesome. Dave, introduce Richie to everybody, and we'll get this over to there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, Richie Cannata has a list a mile long of his accomplishments, the biggest being my good friend. No. He has been the saxophone player and one of the original members of Billy Joel's band since the day of inception, right? 1974, 75. It's 1974. He's played with countless people. He has one of the most slamming recording studios, I think, in the country, to tell you the truth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And he's got a great band with the original members, the original members of Billy Joel's band that are left standing at the moment. His band is incredible. I hope you guys get a chance to, if you can't make a show, you should watch on YouTube because it's a lot of fun and they're great. It's really incredible to see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Cool.
Let me just get the chat up here and we'll start this shindig.
Yeah, everyone's pouring in from the previous. Hello, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, we got like 24 people here. Awesome. Yes, we're over on Dave's channel tonight, so hopefully we'll see some new faces. Hopefully people Dave didn't want to ever see again.
Very funny.
Cool. Yeah, there we go. Brendan is here. New face. Who is here? Ben Coombs is here. Combs, Mr. BHB. I think that's Bruce. Sean Zimmerman. JJ Collins. Thomas Santiago. Jason Wade. Jason, thank you so much for checking into the Discord for me. Awesome.
Cool.
Broken Chains. Claude G. John Bale.
Sorry. Ben Coombs says he's a huge fan of Richie's playing.
Oh, awesome. Cool, man. Yes. Cool.
Very cool.
You got the chat room going?
Yep, I do. We're all set. So if anyone has any questions they would like to ask Richie, or if anyone has anything to say, please do. We'll be happy to answer any questions, any and all questions. How about you guys? You guys have anything to ask Rich?
I have one. The difference, I guess, between playing like a regular show gig, when you have, whether it be an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, and then the difference between between that and like playing the national anthem at a baseball game at Shea or whatever, you get all that time building up to it, and then in a minute and a half, 2 minutes, you're done.
There's a big difference. I do play the Star Spangled Banner for the Yankees quite often. I've done it in Fenway. I've done it at the stadium. I've done it at MetLife for the Giants, football Giants. I've done it at Shea Stadium. I've done it at Citi Field. I've done it in Minnesota. I've done it for the National Tennis Association. So I've played it a bunch. And the difference is when you're doing a gig, and if you're in a band, there's a lot of support. There's a lot of safety nets around. But when you play the Star Spangled Banner, you're out there by yourself. So it's kind of, and I love doing that. I love the sound of my horn and those big stadiums and stuff. But it is a little bit on the, you cannot only blame yourself or take the credit when it's over. I did the stadium 3 times now, Yankee Stadium 3 times. And last year when I played the playoff games during the Yankees and Houston's Astros game, I was pretty emotional afterwards because it was nationally televised. It was Homeland Security was all over us. Major League Baseball was all over us. The Yankee administrative was all over us. And when I mean all over us, they were very concerned about what I did, how I did it, and what was going to go on. And after I got done playing, I went back into my little holding room because it was very, very tight security. I started crying because I wanted my parents to see me. And I've played in every major venue probably in the world, from the Sydney Opera House to the Great Wall of China to the Garden. But that moment was pretty special, and it was way, way different than any other gig I ever did.
Wow,
it's insane.
That is.
Yeah. And
of course, when you're up there, every single eye is on you.
Yeah.
In the stadium, on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good challenge. You know, there's a lot of fluff these days with digital recording and with people thinking that they are somebody by having a set of hands, whether it's Pro Tools, whether it's Cubase, whether it's GarageBand, whether it's Ableton, Logic, and you can fudge, you can put yourself in tune, put yourself in time. But when you play your instrument, especially something that I have, which is a saxophone, you guys, not you guys, but everyone, you unplug what they do and they stop. You can't unplug me. Mm-hmm. Because I can take my horn up right now and play, and it'll sound exactly like I did at Yankee Stadium or within any recording system. And I'm very happy about that. I came up with a generation of that. The 150 million records that I have played on, sold, with Billy and Elton and the Beach Boys and Celine Dion and J-Lo and all these other people I played with, Tommy Shore. It comes from being able to play my instrument. And I'm here with Dave in his house, and I see that Dave's got all these great instruments set up. Matter of fact, he's got a guitar in his hand and he can play it. You know, I mean, it's pretty special.
Wait, he can actually play that thing?
Sometimes. It depends on how good these fingers feel.
Dave and I have played some blues together.
Yeah.
So, but these days, unfortunately, with all the digital set of hands and fixing, not sure what you're listening to.
Oh, I completely agree with you. Yeah. I do that. I work, I do Pro Tools and stuff like that. And some bands sometimes, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but I get some stuff sometimes where I'm like, oh, and I have to go in and fix things. And I know exactly what you're talking about, whether it's vocals, whether it's a timing issue with a drummer or a guitar. And nowadays, like you said, you don't really know what you're listening to. Did somebody actually play that? You know?
Most often what we find in my studio, and I have great consoles. I got 3 great consoles, one being an 8068 Neve, mm-hmm. one an SSLG Plus. These are analog pieces of gear, and what's minus is basically the talent. But when they come in and, with things like we run Pro Tools, of course, but, with Melodyning, we can change the S of a word and tune it. We could just cut and paste till it sounds good. And unfortunately, that's just the nature of pop music these days. And it's a form of entertainment. But, let's get them to my Monday night jam in the city and see if they can sing and play, where there's no help, where it should be just music. If you go back to whether it's your record collection or your parents' record collection, those great records were made on 24-track tape. Mm-hmm. And you had to actually, when you went to the studio, actually know how to sing in tune and play in time. What a concept.
Yeah, well, that's kind of gone nowadays. I know a lot of like heavy music that I work with. Sometimes the bands don't even.
What kind of heavy music do you work with?
I'm sorry.
What kind of heavy music do you work with?
Like heavy metal and hard rock and stuff like that.
I saw John Petrucci last night. He's done Dream Theater has done 4 records with us at our place, and
really?
Yes,
that's awesome.
And he has this guitar camp. I don't know if it's a guitar camp, but it's a John Petrucci camp.
Yeah.
And he invited me to come see him perform last night with his trio, with Dave LaRoche and Mike Mangini and him. It was the most intimidating thing I've seen in a long time. He was freaking amazing.
Yeah, those guys are on another level.
He owned the guitar. Just owned it, and he owned his setup. His Mesa Boogie setup was freaking amazing. His intonation, his approach to the instrument was spectacular.
Oh yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing. But I think in a lot of music nowadays, bands don't have to know their songs inside and out before they come into the studio.
Right.
You know, you can kind of like make some studio tricks, you know, kind of get them to play it right, kind of right, and then fix things. Whereas, you know, years ago, we're talking, you had to know and rehearse inside and out before you got into the studio. Otherwise, you know, it ain't happening.
You basically had 24 track, of which one of the tracks was Simpty. So you had 23 tracks to work with. So, you know, if the drummer had 4, 6 tracks, maybe bass player 1, guitar a couple, keyboard a couple, an overdub guy like me 1, that's all you get.
Yeah.
You know, you get 1 track. So it separated a lot of people. And that's why forever we'll listen to those great records, you know, that were recorded that way. Because it took a bunch of people in the room with their personalities to put these songs and music together. It wasn't done with add water, stir, mix in front of a monitor screen where you would, you know, it's one dimensional. One guy's doing it all.
Yeah, the honesty is gone.
Yeah, really. But that's what technology is, though. It's with film, you know, with picture taking on your iPhones. You can take a picture, shape it, do whatever you want to it, make it look great, and print it out in CVS.
I know. Yep.
But pull the plug. Come on. I challenge you. Pull the plug.
Turn the internet off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fender Guru asked if you got your horn here. No, he didn't bring his horn with him.
I didn't know what to expect tonight. I have a big gig tomorrow. We're playing probably about 5,000 people tomorrow.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, a venue on Long Island. I'm a New York guy.
Where are you playing tomorrow?
John Burns Park.
Oh, cool.
And,
didn't I see you there last year?
I don't know. Did you? Maybe.
I think I did.
Okay. Come tomorrow. And then I'm bringing that's the original Billy Joel band. It's called the Lords of 52nd Street. Here's a great testimonial to great music that was recorded on 24-track tape on an 8068 Neve. 40 years later, we're selling out big venues with the music that we did 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
And I don't want to make any harsh statements here, but I think, especially like the pop music nowadays, 40 years from now, are you really going to be hearing this?
Yeah, we're going to be listening to this music?
I don't know. My best O.P. Diddy records are not going to be, you know, 40 years from now. You know, I don't know if Kanye West is going to be going and doing shows, selling out people like we have. And Billy is an amazing. He's his writing and our participation with my saxophone and keyboards and Liberty DeVito on drums and Russell Javers on guitar and Howie Emerson and what we did, and Doug Stegmeyer, of course. It's a testimonial to music that's being played today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's stands the test of time. It really does. That music is. I mean, it's always going to be part of my life.
I think it's someone should have wrote a song with that title.
Yeah,
man. So how often do you hear yourself on the radio?
I listen to. It's interesting. I was talking to Joe Rock today. I don't know if you know who he is. He is one of the air personalities to a radio station in New York, WBAB, and I had tweaked the system at my house this summer, and I listen to WBAB once in a while in my car, but I had it on most of the summer outside. So, and I'm outside a lot, so I hear myself every day because WBAB plays a lot of Billy. And if it's not Billy, it's something else. It's Beach Boys, or it's a J-Lo track, or a Celine track, or something like that. Taylor Dane, if you go to a classic 70s, 80s station, I'm on a lot of those records. And I just played with John Bellion. You know who John Bellion is?
Mm-mm.
A new artist that he just opened up. Did a whole world tour with 21 Pilots, and he just did his record at my studio, and I got to play on his new record. And you wouldn't have heard that. What am I talking? It's not out yet. They just mixed it. But they've been in they've been in my studio for 6 months, so it feels like it's an oldie already.
Mm-hmm.
Nesdal played it for us last night.
Yeah. I haven't been in the studio in a while. I can't get up those stairs. Absolute Mayhem says, question for Richie. What do you think of new bands, Greta Van Fleet? Those kids are young, but they can play their instruments. They can play, and they play live lots.
Show me that point where that
right here.
That one there.
Yeah.
You think of new bands. Greta Van Fleet. I don't know what that is or what that phrase is. If that's a band.
That's a band. They've been tagged the new Led Zeppelin.
Oh well, then I love them. I love them. When you put a bunch of and our studio is big enough. I have a really big room with ISO booths and a grand piano and all sorts of real keyboards and shit like that, stuff like that. When I
you can swear,
yeah, you can swear
on Dave's channel. Swear all you want.
I apologize for that. That's the first time I've ever said that word.
Gonna wash your mouth out with soap later.
My mom was here right now. I'd be in the bathroom with ivory soap in my mouth. I don't know, Greta, whatever they were called again. Give me them.
Greta Van Fleet.
I love them. I don't know who they are. I'm gonna do some research on them. If they're out there making music and setting up their instruments and playing live gigs, you gotta love it, man, because we gotta bring that back. You know, they've got to get rid of the samples and play these live instruments and put everybody's heartbeat into these songs. And I think that will prevail. I really do. I hope.
I hope too. The internet has ruined everything.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
How great it is, it's also...
Do I still get paid for the stuff I do with Billy? There are royalties. The thing called royalties, and we get minimal. You know, we'll get overseas stuff, but being on over 150 million records, there's monies to be paid to us. Do we get a lot of royalties? Not really. But again, I'm a saxophone player, and I've done amazing just playing the saxophone, and I'm very happy and comfortable with what I've done. So we do get our royalties, and it really depends on where they're coming from. Really gets the lion's share, though, and rightfully so. I played sax from grade 6 to 8, and then my teacher told me that I was so bad I should never play music again. I didn't play an instrument for over 30 years. What would you tell new musicians? Well, that's unfortunate that teacher said that to you, Brendan. There's nobody that's out there that can say you can't play or shouldn't play. It could be for a hobby. It could be for making money, supporting your family. It could be for whatever reason. The humanitarian part of our lives, it's our heartbeat. So if you felt like playing back then, you should have continued playing. Saxophone's not an easment instrument. Remember, we play one note at a time. It's not like you can pick up a guitar or play piano and there's a lot of music going on. It's an instrument that needs other players around, unless you play the Star Spangled Banner at the Yankee Stadium, then you're by yourself. But for the most part, I think that if you wanted to pick it up again, you should. And all young players that have that desire, remember, most of the austerity budgets get cut that have music plan in them at schools. They cut them before they'll cut the sports or anything.
Yep.
So, and there's probably more classes for learning how to use Pro Tools than there is to learning how to play the violin.
Michael Smith has a question here. Can you ask Richie how he first met Billy and what made him choose the saxophone?
Well, choosing the saxophone was something that came later. I started on piano. Piano is my first instrument, and I then went to clarinet, although I wanted to play trombone. But when I went to my school, elementary school band teacher, they said, no, we need clarinet players. So I started with clarinet, and I really got into it. It was very, very good. I was playing Broadway shows by 13. By 8 years old, I had gone over to the tenor sax. And once I did that, I never came back. And there was a second part of that question. What was that? Oh, how do I meet Billy? Billy, I knew of Billy because of the Piano Man record, and he had heard about me through Doug Stegmeyer and Al Stegmeyer, and it was a session that I did with Doug Stegmeyer and Liberty DeVito, and Billy had found out about me, then came to see me play and asked me to be in his band. He had run away from all these people out in California and came to New York to do the Turnstiles record. And the very first song that I went to this recording studio, and he played me a basic track, and the very first song that I played on for Billy and recorded for Billy was New York State of Mind.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Put braces on my kid's teeth.
I tell you, man, that pretty much that saxophone. I don't know about people on the West Coast, maybe, but everyone from this side of the country, you can whistle that sax song, all the sax parts on that song, because it's like
oh, that's what you think of when you hear that. When you think of that song, you hear the saxophone. Yeah.
Well, that's why we put together. I got into the Hall of Fame how many years ago? A couple of years now?
Yeah.
2 years. Got into the Hall of Fame about 2 years ago, and Ron Delsner was getting inducted as well. He's a big Live Nation promoter, and he had said, man, and we went there to play the Billy Joel Band, which was myself, Liberty, and Doug and Russell, and Doug has passed, so it was just the three of us, and I put this band together, and we did one song, and they thought it was incredible to go out there and do this music again. So there are so many reasons. Liberty's drum playing and all his parts, my saxophone solos, they're all signatures with Billy's music. And that's why we put this band together, the Lords of 52nd Street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nesdal has talked a lot about your band, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Dave came to see us play one of the first times we played, right?
Yeah.
At the Space,
Yeah.
a couple of years back. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was floored. It was honestly like listening to the records.
And we do all the songs in the original keys with the right tempos, and I'm the MD of the band, and I'm very, very particular about every part being played the way we did it back when we made those records and toured throughout the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you still have the same saxophone that you've played on all those records? Is that still your main sax?
The same horn, bro. That's a great question. A same horn. I've had two horns my whole life.
Wow.
Yeah. Two horns that I really have used my whole life.
And what are they?
Both Selmers.
Mm-hmm.
Both Selmers. One serial number is 125,000 series, which is amazing, and the other one is 150,000 series. Anything above about 100 and 150 in that range are the horns that were made, the Selmer Mark 6s that were made in France, and those were the best ones. And I've got the one that you hear on all the records. You'll hear that horn. I was multitasking in my head. I have a Smooth CD record out, and if you go and Google that and find it, you'll see the saxophone on the cover rather than my face.
And how long have you had that? Had that one?
Oh my God, I've had that for 40-something years.
Wow,
It's amazing.
that is. And when you try something, like, do you go out often, or have companies sending you saxophones to try, and you're like, it just doesn't feel right?
Everybody wants me to use their horns. They want to give me horns for free, and I just don't want them. Yeah, I don't need to do that because it works, you know, and it's with me all the time. It gets a seat on the plane if I can't get it up top. Mm-hmm. It's with me. It's got a special place in my house, special place in the studio.
So when you walk into Dave's house and you see 1,500 guitars,
it's pretty
why are
crazy.
you playing all these? Got one saxophone.
Well, it's like this. You could pick up a guitar. I could pick up a guitar right now, and I could strum it, but I'm not going to pass my saxophone on someone and go play. It's like, yeah, kiss my wife.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a very personal thing. It's you don't pass it around.
No.
You know, you don't pick up another horn. I don't. You know.
Yeah, I don't care if you have another mouthpiece either. It's the
No.
same. You just don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. You don't do it. It's a different instrument. Remember, my instrument is a piece of plumbing that has holes in it, that's covered with leather pads, that I blow through a mouthpiece that's wood to vibrate to make the sound. Now, I didn't say there's no distortion pedal, there's no volume pedal, there's no compression pedal, there's no wah-wah pedal. Here's the pedal right here.
Yep. Well, what about the whammy bar, man? Come on.
Yeah. Here. There it is.
Actually, when you do, I've
I've done that.
whammy
Yeah,
thing.
I've done that thing with the other side.
Yeah.
But it all comes from the embouchure. If you guys know what embouchure is, or anybody out there knows what an embouchure is, it's this part. I was reading something. Thank you so much for doing this.
He's thanking us for this show with you.
Oh, Ben?
Yeah, Ben Coombs.
Hey, Ben. What's up, Ben? Where's Ben from?
Ben's up in Canada.
Canada.
He's up in Cannata.
That's Cannata.
Sorry, yeah, he's up in Cannata.
The Great White North, eh?
Can I have hockey up there?
That's about it.
Thank you.
Hockey and beer.
Hockey and beer.
Hockey and beer.
And hosers.
Well, and Amanda Coombs is his sister.
Oh, Amanda. At 7/8, where's 2? I don't understand what that means.
Oh, Jay is 7/8. That's his name.
Yeah, I put on a nice collared shirt tonight, you know. We were stepping up the
Why, because of Dave?
I'm not wearing any pants.
Yeah, because it was on Dave's channel, you know. I had to wear an extra shirt over top.
Yeah.
So do you play jazz? Fender Guru, wow. I do play jazz, but I play jazz. If you find my smooth jazz record, I'll tell you something interesting about that record. I've learned to play jazz, but I've learned to make money playing rock and roll and playing in rock bands. But I love to play jazz. I really, really do. And I have, I think, a jazz influence in some of my soloing when I'm free-forming solos. But I've learned, there was one song, a song called Still Rock and Roll by Billy, and he said to me before that solo, he says, Rico, he calls me Rico, he goes, before you do anything, I want you to play a solo that people are going to remember in 20 years. And I said, 20 years? 20 minutes from now, I'm not going to, you know. And here it's been 40 years later, and a lot of people know that solo. So.
That's the truth. That's the truth. That's what rock and roll is. Memorable stuff.
But I do play Fender Guru there. I do play jazz. I love to play jazz, but I'm not, again, distinction of labor in what we do. John Coltrane could play jazz. Michael Brecker played great jazz. I do my pop thing, and I've done well with playing the right notes at the right time.
Well, that's what it's all about, playing the right notes at the right time, you know.
That's right, because they've all been played.
Yeah.
There's no notes left.
Yeah, and most times, you know, those solos that you play, those are the hooks.
Yeah,
you know, those are what people remember. Like you were talking about whistling the parts.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Well, think of "Careless Whisper" from I almost said Boy George. Oh my God, George Michael.
George Michael.
You know, like that saxophone part is like, that's what everybody remembers from that song.
That's the hook. Yeah, that's the song right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you play that?
No, I didn't. And all the solos that I played, like Scenes from Town Restaurant and all those great Still Rock and Roll, You May Be Right, Only the Good Die Young, they were all first take solos.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you had people comp your
Oh, you know why?
together?
You know why they were first take solos? Because I only had one track, and I had to do. That was it. And Phil Ramone didn't want to do it again. I went, okay, I'm good with it.
We got 20 minutes of studio time left.
That's it. Get out there and play.
Play 12 notes, and I'll make a solo.
Yeah,
that's what they do these days.
Yep.
Has anybody done that to your work? Comped your stuff together, and you come in and hear like the notes in a different order than you'd.
Well, you know, recent years, I'm sure. What happens? I get a call to play saxophone and for somebody's record, and what I'll do is I'll play. You know, I'll give them a couple of solos, but I will make sure that I have one that I like, and I say, please use this one. You know, but I'll give them a choice of a couple, and I'm sure that they cut them up. I'm sure that they do. You know, these producers they think that they can play a better saxophone solo, then that's what they do. You know, I got paid to do it, and I'm done. You know.
Oh,
do you help start that?
Yeah, that's don't.
Nah, stupid.
Idiot.
Jeez.
How was it playing with Jennifer Lopez? Jennifer Lopez, she came to our studio. She came a couple of different times. She's awesome. Marc Anthony and her together were really tremendous. There was a song, On the Floor. Do you remember that song, On the Floor, Jennifer Lopez? Well, if you do or don't, that was created at our place, and she was really happy that we did that. She's awesome. She's a great woman. Lots of fun.
Yeah, she's
Awesome.
she's so good. They made her a movie star.
Wait, what? First take? Yeah, bro. First take, man. Like I said, we set up in a room. When we made those records with Billy, we all set up in the same room. And there was really not a lot of overdubbing going on. Billy sang the piano, sang the song along with the piano as we all played our instruments. I played all the extra keyboards of the B3 and all whatever little kind of synths that were then back used then. And we just all played. Just got in the room and played. And somebody recorded it, Phil Ramone.
You get that live energy when a band is playing together.
No click track.
Who was the second guitar player?
David Brown.
Stuff?
David Brown. Oh, David Brown?
Yeah, I think so. It was Russell and David. Did
Yeah.
Russell played the solos, right? Or was it David?
They both did. They both did.
Sorry. That's
Hey.
the first time I left my on while we were doing
I
it.
almost had a heart attack there. Thinking it was Dave's phone that was ringing.
No, I have mine on silent.
Yeah, usually I do. And it's
David Brown, they split up the solos. There wasn't a lot of guitar on our records.
No.
So it
No,
was
but the guitar that's so good.
Steve Kahn was one of the guitar players. Huey McCracken was another. Hiram Bullock was another one.
I love Hiram.
Hiram was on those records.
Love Hiram.
David Brown, Howard Emerson, and was he on any of the records? Turnstiles, maybe, I think. And Russell Javers. But there wasn't parts. It wasn't, like really. There were more parts than soloing. I did more of the soloing. I did most of the filling up of the holes.
Howard Emerson, did he play acoustic mostly?
Both.
He's such a great guitar
He's
player
great.
too.
Yeah. So
it's a lot of good guitar on a piano based band. It's amazing. All that stuff, and like all on jazz chorus amps, JC 120s.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Amazing stuff.
Chorusing. Do I have a favorite song that I played on? Scott Nickerson. I like them all, but New York State of Mind is a big connection for me. But Scenes from Italian Restaurant is a really big one because there's big signatures all over that, and I solo on that, and I play clarinet on that one as well. So I would say Scenes is a good one. They're all good. I'm going to play them all tomorrow.
Miami 2017.
Miami 2017 is awesome. Summer Highland Falls, James. I got to play. Yeah, love them. Rosalinda's Eyes, I'd love to play on that one too. What was the Celine Dion experience like when she presented? Oh, Celine Dion is freaking awesome. She was probably the best. There's one record that I played on with her that I'm really, really proud of, and it's her Christmas record. And why it's so great, because every year we break it out, and it's with Buccelli, Andreas Buccelli.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm on that record with them, and it's really a beautiful record to be on. We did a Christmas record with her. We did a bunch of her hits. I played on a bunch of songs with her. Nice. She's great, and she's a great person. She's a wonderful person.
Mm-hmm. This is a good question too. What is it about the sax and piano that fit together so well?
They're both acoustic instruments. Number one, I think they're alive. They're played with a lot of passion. And it worked for Billy, and it worked for me. Obviously, with all our success. My daughter plays lead sax in a high school jazz band. Any advice to keep playing into the con? By the way, the sax solos you mentioned were amazing. Oh, thanks. R-Habs. I'm going to say this cautiously. It's difficult for a young girl to move over to blowing really hard on a saxophone when they become 13 years old, when the girls are worrying about other things other than picking up their alto or tenor and playing it. they'd have to have a burning desire to do that. I don't know what to tell them, but keep at it, to keep playing. Try to find a band that they can jump in and enjoy it, because it's a lot of fun. You get a lot of attention, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. I think with any instrument, when you're at that age, you really have to want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Did
So
I ever
many of the distractions coming into play, you know? When
did I ever play with the late and great Whitney Houston? I did not play with her, but we did work for her at our studio. And next week, Friday, of which you're coming to, it's funny that I just saw this question by Mitch Hammond.
Hammond, yes.
Mitch, it's funny. I was feeling Whitney this week, and I'm doing this gig in Glen Cove with my jam band, and I suggested that we do a Whitney song, and we're going to do "I Will Always Love Her." I think that's the name of it, right? The big one that Dolly Parton wrote.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to do that song, and I've been feeling Whitney, so we're going to do a Whitney song next week.
Cool. There's another one up here. Amanda Coombs, who are your idols or mentors?
Dave Nestall is my dog.
That's you're speaking for everybody in here. Me and Johnny always say it.
Everybody, there's so many different people. You know, I could go really deep and say, you know, the John Coltrane, but my family and my friends and all the people I play with are all my mentors, and I learn every day. I learn every day how much I don't know, and I'd have to say that looking up to so many different musicians, and Billy being one, and giving me the opportunity to make this music with him has been terrific.
Well, the fact that you can still say that every day you still find stuff that you don't know, I mean, that's great to still have that mentality, because once you start thinking, oh, I know everything about this or that.
That's a life statement, you know. I think when you think you know everything, that's when you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I keep finding out different things about my instrument and about life and about you know, about everything, about my family. Just you keep learning and keep getting better.
Do you have a strict practice routine, or is it kind of like you love playing so much where you have to play?
I have a practice routine. I practice probably when I'm not gigging about 4 nights a week, and it's usually after 10 o'clock at night. And I practice for about 1 or 2 hours.
Do you have a soundproof room for that?
Up to the studio.
No, he opens the windows.
Put a
Stands on the roof.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, in the area that Richie lives in it's actually beautiful, and it's water, and there's a lot of water around it, and it'd be a great place to practice, and also just for solace. It's amazing.
Yeah, I have a room at the studio that I practice in. I don't practice it pretty much at home. I do all the music at my studio, and I do it. I would say I play every day. I practice about 4 days a week, and I have gigs, 3 or 4 gigs a week. So it depends. Now I'm gonna, after I leave here, I will practice, because I have a gig tomorrow, and I'm not gonna take my horns out without not playing them the night before. And I double. I have flute, soprano, tenor. So I got to touch them all before I play tomorrow.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. So what are the gigs you have coming up?
Oh, wait, I got one. What's my opinion of the late Clarence Clemons? I got compared to Clarence. If you don't know who Clarence Clemons is, he was Bruce's saxophone player. And if you don't know who Bruce is, you shouldn't be watching this program.
We're always asking, is that Bruce?
It was
But it's another Bruce.
Bruce Springsteen.
That Jewish boy from New Jersey.
We got compared to Bruce and to Elton, and I was always compared to Clarence for the work I've done, but we're totally different players. He really was a big niche for Bruce and a big part of that thing, but I'm a different player than he is. I had a little bit more I don't know what the word is, but more flexibility. I could play jazz, I could read and do a pit in an orchestra, but he had You know, he had that lick, which he got pretty famous with, and more. But he was that stylistic thing for Bruce. What venues or special locations have you always wanted to play? Boy, Amanda's all over this tonight.
Yeah,
I mean,
we should have her on. What the hell?
Yeah,
I've played pretty much every place that I thought I would want to play, from the Sydney Opera House to Carnegie Hall, and to the Glen Cove Little League baseball field. So I'm pretty okay. I want to go to Dubai. I have not played there yet, and I don't know why I want to go there. Just because I probably haven't played there.
there's probably like 4 or 5 people there that would want to hear you.
Yeah, I'm not that many. I could definitely get arrested there.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Bobby Keys, Fender Guru. God, I like this guy, Fender. Bobby Keys, one of the greatest rock and roll sax players ever.
He's from Australia.
He is
Or New Zealand. I mean,
I think he's
New
a Kiwi.
Zealand. No, yeah, this.
Yeah, he is very, very cool. But great solos, noted for a bunch of great solos. He just passed within this year, I think, too. Wow. And there you have it.
Huh. What else do we have here?
Do you read bass clef? No, I can't. Billy's playing Fenway tonight. What a traitor.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Come on.
Let's see. I played Fenway too, so I guess I was a traitor as well.
Ron Johnson's probably there watching him.
Yeah.
That's why he's not here.
Yeah. There's another friend of ours that comes on, Rob Johnson.
Oh.
He lives up there.
I miss all the sax solos. I'm just reading some of these comments.
Remember when Men at Work?
So,
what was that song? Who Can It Be Now? Remember when that came out?
Sure. Yeah.
My brother all of a sudden wanted to play saxophone when that came out, and then my wife,
That was the thing to do back then with that.
Yeah, I know. It picked up. But my wife texted me a little while ago and we were talking about the school thing. And she said, I played saxophone and traded it in for flute because the saxophone was too heavy for me to carry back then.
Yep. Yep.
You know who that is?
Who? No.
That's my mother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Going
Hi, Dave's mom. Hey.
She's coming to Glen Cove to see me. All right.
The meatloaf.
Make sure Dave gets you there early, all right? Dave's coming to my house, too, by the way, Mom.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
And we're playing. I got this semi-celebrity status in Glen Cove. They named a street after me, and that's where the concert's going to be, on my street.
Nice.
Free parking for everybody. Take care.
Awesome. You know the cops here, right? All of them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm tight with all of them. Yep. I'm tight with I love living in Glen Cove. I'm very friendly with all the police, fire, EMS, mayor. The mayor's awesome. All the administrations are awesome.
Yeah, they all watch these shows to keep an eye on Dave.
Ben Coombs has a question. Says, Richie, is there someone you've worked with that would surprise us?
Oh, that's a good one. Someone that would surprise you.
Ashanti.
Oh, why did you say that?
That surprised me when I was looking through everybody. That's the one that stuck out to me. I was like, whoa.
I actually have worked with her. She's from Glen Cove, too. But maybe Rita Coolidge or Phoebe Snow.
I love Phoebe.
I produced a record with her. She was amazing. STYX. You guys know I played with Tommy Shaw.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, that might be something you wouldn't think I would have done. And I do. Right now, I'm the musical director for Bernie Williams from the Yankees, and that's a pretty jazzy gig.
Mm-hmm.
He's become a really good guitar player, actually.
He's great.
Almost as good a baseball player.
Yeah, oh, he's a great, crazy baseball player. He was awesome. I don't know if this was asked, but since this technically is a van, fan show. Oh, I knew somebody was going to ask that.
Who? Eddie Van Halen. Who's that?
Eddie Van Halen sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you think Dave Nesdall is crazy having all those striped guitars back there?
What was the first thing you said when you came in here?
I said yes. Look, he's a little obsessed with all this, guys.
What do you do
He
with all
needs,
these?
he needs therapy.
What do you do with all these things, and why are they all striped?
Where's David Lee Roth these days, by the way?
Has he offered to stripe your saxophone?
No, he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that.
That was a question on someone wrote that on one of the Facebook things that we did this past week. Is he going to show up with a striped saxophone?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm. Actually, were you playing? Did you play with? I remember back in '92. Actually, Eddie Van Halen and Billy Joel actually played a song together.
No, I didn't do that.
Angela.
I didn't do that.
It was West Side Story. Did you ever hear about that?
No.
They did one of those songs together. Eddie and Billy Joel, yeah.
Nope, didn't know.
Boy, the Coombs connection is really running the gambit here.
There's something about Liberty playing with big people. No, I didn't play with him back then. He was in Florida then, I think. He had moved back. He moved to Florida with his wife and kids. No, I didn't play with him then. I'm playing with him tomorrow.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I love watching him play too.
He's insane.
He should be tired after the first song.
I know.
His movements. If you ever watch Liberty DeVito play drums, it's like watching someone do what's that, Zumba? It's like watching someone do Zumba while playing drums. It's in his whole body movement. I get tired just watching. It's insane, and the fact that he keeps time that well.
Richie, what's your acts of choice in Mark 6? Yeah, we had talked to Claude. Is it Claude?
Yeah.
Claude, yeah, a Mark 6 tenor. And I gave serial numbers that I think is best. Anywhere between 100,000 and 150,000. Those are the best ones. Without a doubt. Anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Dan Halen, no, I did not sell my Shark. It's still for sale. Let me know if you want it.
It's right there. I see it. It's right there.
Dave, can you jump over it for us?
No. I've jumped the Shark plenty of times.
What instrument would you really like to try or master that you haven't yet? The question was, what instrument would I like to try or master that I haven't yet? I haven't mastered the saxophone yet, so I'm still working on that one. Let me get that one right. Yeah. It's too much. It's a lot of work. You guys all play, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys play,
not
right?
saxophone, but
Not sax. But
Anything. But you know what it is to master your instrument, man.
You can't.
You can't.
It can't be done.
It's just you keep going on it. Like after seeing Petrucci last night, I almost wanted to stop playing, you know. And after I saw him, I went and practiced for an hour, you know, until I convinced myself that I could actually do a gig with him.
Yeah, we kind of joke about that from time to time about different. You go see a different musician, and there's certain musicians that make you want to go into your room and play, and there's other ones like, what's the point? Throwing it in the garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, like Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how about that? How about that 4-year-old kid I sent you the video of the other day? Amazing.
Yeah.
Or is 5 years old.
What's the point of even playing?
Well, hopefully I get to be as good as that kid one day.
Man, when you grow up, Dave.
Yeah.
When you turn 5?
Yeah.
Actually,
there's a question from Sean. I interrupted you. He said, my input on the long-running horn ensembles, Tower of Power, Memphis Horns, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, I think it's awesome. You know, I was on tour with the Beach Boys. I played with the Beach Boys for a long time, and we did co-billing with Chicago. I just think it's great. And now my lead singer, Tommy Bose, my jam band, is with Blood, Sweat, and Tears. So I have a lot of respect for those horn bands that are out there playing. Now, I'm a horn section guy if I have to be, but I'm more of a soloist. So, but I have a lot of respect for playing in a great horn section, and I love to do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, funny that you bring that up, because Richie runs a jam, and he's run it for how many? It's like
25 years.
Okay, 25 years, but at the bitter end, it's been what?
10
years now? The bitter end is now the oldest club in Manhattan, and a lot of horn players, a lot of people go there to jam, and it's from novice to, you know, celebrity. And a lot of horn players come, and to see him run this thing and like be the band leader that he is. And I'm not throwing smoke up his ass. I was in the band. I was part of his band for a lot of years. So to watch him tell these horn players what to do and make it sound like they've been doing it and practice and rehearsing it for months before going on stage, and they've never even played with each other. It's incredible, because you listen to the music and you're like, that's all rehearsed. Bullshit. It's all rehearsed. And it's not. It's, oh, all right, you want to do that song? All right, we haven't done that in about 12 years, but we'll do it. And it sounds like they've been rehearsing it all week. It's amazing to watch him run a band. It's crazy.
It's a lot of fun. It goes back to an hour ago when we were talking about just being able to pick up your instrument and play. You know, it's that God-given ability to get your antennas right and let the music happen. And I got a bunch of guys on stage with me that are really, really good. You know, Panos and Kevin Brigandy and Jim Moran, Benny Harrison, Chris Clark, Tommy Bose, Frosty Lawson.
Yeah, Frosty is like the kid. He's been on everything.
Yeah.
Frosty, he's one of the other horn players and like the utility guy. He does everything. Plays and sings, plays almost every instrument, sings, does whatever you want him to do, and he does it like it was his first instrument. Right. Amazing.
Ben has asked any artist that I would have liked to play with that I didn't get the chance. Maybe David Bowie, you know. I think I'd like to. Or Stevie Winwood, I would like to. And I haven't been able to get the chance to. I would like to do that. You know, that was probably some people that I never got a chance to play with.
Very cool. Any, let's see.
What is this guy, PD? I played in many stage bands, trumpet, bass, I remember the leader playing a sax. Player can blow a note and squeak. Oh, is that true? Yeah. Remember, someone just asked me, you could blow through your horn and get a squeak. Remember, we're vibrating a piece of bamboo, right? And without the control, it'll squeak. So that's why the embouchure comes in, to be able to control that. It's just actually, when you vibrate to read it, it's a controlled squeak is what it is. And you just kind of make it sound good at some point.
So how long does that usually take, like when you start playing, to really be able to control the breathing and the muscles and the lips and everything like that?
It takes years, because it's really ugly. It's annoying, you know. If you were to grab a mouthpiece and just play it, it's like a foghorn or a duck call, you know. So it takes time to do. It really does. That's why, you know, anybody could pick up a keyboard and play it. I can show them those notes, and it'll sound pretty much 95% the way I would do it without them ever playing that instrument. You give them a saxophone or a wind instrument or a
good luck.
It's not gonna be the add water stir mix, you know.
PD also asks, do you smoke?
No.
That's a good thing.
Never had a cigarette in my life. Now, once in a while, I will have a cigar, and it has to be the right occasion. But I don't smoke.
I would think that would play havoc on blowing a horn.
Yeah.
Whenever I see singers smoke cigarettes, I'm like, how are they smoking? Don't you know?
But no, cigarette smoking doesn't go well with a horn player, with anyone playing a wind instrument.
It's a great question too. Broken Chains is a friend of ours who was a Nassau County cop for a long time, just retired.
Did I ever teach a famous celebrity to play the sax? I had, I forgot his name. I guess he wasn't that famous. Damn.
Dave Nesdall.
No, I did. Somebody asked
Infamous. Not
somebody. I'll think of his name later. I can see his face. Dylan, something Dylan.
Jacob Dylan?
No.
Matt Dylan?
Matt Dylan. Thank you. Get you. Matt Dylan. Matt Dylan asked me to give me sax lessons. Bill Clinton? No. No, I don't get. I'm not here. No political statements.
No, we don't do any of that.
No.
What else do we have?
Okay. What's the score of the Yankee game, guys?
Don't know. Great sense of humor.
Where's Ben from?
Ben's up in Cannata.
Oh, right. I was just up in Hogansburg, Ben, which is right outside of Montreal. And we did a gig up there. There's a casino up there that I played.
That's a long drive.
Yeah, it was. Dennis played that one.
Yeah, he told me. Told me it was a long drive.
Yeah. When did you start playing? I started saxophone like around 8. 8 years old. Clarinet about 6. Piano 4.
Wow. It's just amazing. Yeah, it amazes me.
And did you, when you started playing sax, when you started playing that, was that it? Like, did you just continue to play, or did you play for a couple of years, stop playing, pick it back up?
Once this guy, a friend of mine's dad said, play tenor sax, and I put one in my hand. I said, damn, this is it. I don't know what this thing is, but I freaking love this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I could not put it down. I could not put it down. I took it everywhere. And it was just immediate an attraction to it. And I loved it. Now, remember, I don't know what you guys know about music in the scheme of what the atonal thing is. When you guys are in the key of C, I am not. The tenor saxophone is in B flat, so I'm always a step above. So when you guys play in the key of E, which you do all the time, puts me in F sharp. So that was a weird thing for me as a young kid, because I knew what a C was on the piano. Now a C on the saxophone wasn't the same.
Ooh.
Really messed me up for a bit.
Yeah, I could see how that.
And that's the tenor sax. The alto sax is in E flat. And my baritone is also in E flat, even more different.
Huh.
So when we're on stage and Dave says, key of C, that's not C for me. I'm in key of D.
You have to know. Yeah, you have to know what.
And people give me music to read, that all those notes, I got to transpose them.
You got to transpose it?
Yeah.
On the fly.
On the fly.
Man.
See, I'm in E flat.
I hate that. I freaking hate that.
Well,
tuning down is not what it's supposed to be.
Only because it's a Hendrix thing. You have to with Hendrix, because that's what he did.
Did he played an E flat?
E flat and D. His E chord would have been a D most of the time.
I hate that. I really do.
Now, do you have any there's that whole argument about 440 to 432 type of thing. Like 432 is more of a natural.
I'm a 440 guy, and I understand piano tuners, when they come into our studio, they want to tune it a little bit differently for the classical guys. I have relative pitch, so it doesn't really bother me that much, but I like 440.
Okay.
Normally I do too. I think this is the only guitar I have tuned to E flat. Everything else is in.
That's another one of my practice things. I practice, and then I go, after I get really warmed up, I go to a tuner and I see where I am. Because you can change the pitch with your lip easily, almost a quarter to a half a tone. So you got to hear that 440 too. Not an easy instrument to play.
Well, you can see how somebody, like you said before, when you sit in front of a keyboard or a piano, if you hit a note or a chord, even if you're just starting and you're slowly getting it, like you're hearing the notes being played. But when you're playing, a woodwind instrument or a saxophone, like that's a whole different ballgame. You actually have to learn how to do it all. And I could see how somebody would get frustrated very easily.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Someone said, turning down is better for you, right? No, it's not.
There you go.
No, it's not. What has happened because of having to learn in the key of E? When you guys are in E, I play in F sharp. It's a friendly key to me now.
Yeah, you play long enough.
You play long enough. It's like, give me all those sharps. I'm down with it.
Yeah.
So
it's like asking a guitar player to play in B flat. It's like,
Yeah, and that puts me in C, and which is it should be a really great key for me, but it is okay. But I'd rather play in D.
Yeah,
you know.
Great piano players play in B flat. Like, you know, Ray Charles did a lot. In
Yeah,
B flat.
the flat keys are easier to write in. Stevie Wonder wrote in all the flat keys.
Yeah,
it's easier because you could go like this on all the flat keys and it's a chord.
That's amazing.
It's a little bit easier.
Bozique, he says he didn't realize Hendrix dropped to low D down to D. Well, it's not that he did it on purpose. Whatever his guitar was tuned to,
He just couldn't tune it.
everyone tuned to him. Like it was relative pitch. He made sure his guitar was in tune with itself, no matter where it was, and everyone tuned to him.
D4 is A440 is that's PD whoever he had asked or she had asked. So there you go, guys.
Yep.
Very cool.
Texas Rangers are winning.
What are you gonna do?
Oh boy. And I think Boston's losing, so it's okay.
Do you find you compose paper to horn or horn to paper? Or just record? Do you, when you compose, do you write it first and then play it, or do you play it first?
Play it first.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear it in my head, play it, and then write it.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it recording to phone?
No, I never do that. No, never do that.
That's cool. Very cool.
My black phone with the dial thing.
Yeah. Oh, you have the three.
Right. You can't record to it.
There was a video recently of some, like, I don't know if they were high school kids or something. They couldn't figure out how to make a call on a rotary phone. They're like, what do you do? They let it, you spin it all the way and let it go, but they could not figure it out.
Remember when long distance meant something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
right.
my God, 213. I'm gonna call California. This is gonna be awesome.
We're having to worry about the phone cord getting stuck on things and ripping off the wall.
Yep.
Slam the phone down or something.
Oh, that was the best feeling when you were pissed off and you slammed the phone down on someone, not worry about breaking it.
Yeah.
And now you just tap the button real hard. The screen doesn't give you the same.
That's how most cell phones get cracks on them now, I think.
Funny.
Like that.
Yeah.
So
So what do you have coming up, Rich? Other than tomorrow's gig and next Friday?
we got Bernie Williams gigs coming up September and October. I have I'm playing the New Jersey Pack Center, the Bergen Pack Center in New Jersey. The Lords, Richfield Playhouse with the Lords. I've got a lot of gigs. Go to our website.
And that is
Lords of 52nd Street.
cool.
Yeah, Google it. And if you really want to see some cool stuff, go to YouTube and look at my official videos. Not mine, but the Lords of 52nd Street official videos. You'll flip out. You will definitely flip out. And if you like Billy's music and our music, you will love these videos. But the official ones, not someone holding up a cell phone at a gig.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the thousands of people doing that now?
Oh yeah,
It used to be lighter, and now it's
cell phone.
phones. It's nuts.
Broken Chains has a good. Well, this is. Did you go to New Hyde Park?
Wow. No, but that was my district. I went to Cary High School, Broken Chains. Cary High School in Franklin Square.
PD has a good question. What do you do to warm up? What's your routine? How long does it take you?
Long tones. I do long tones. And you just take a note, open C sharp, and you play it as long as you can, and you go down C, B, A, G. You can go down chromatically just to do that, and then go back up, and then play the harmonics, and then I'm ready to go. My horn is always ready to go, pretty much, but I can't just take it out of the case and play it. I have to definitely warm up. Somebody Broken. I grew up in New Hyde Park. Do you know Cary High School, Broken Chains? Of course you do. East Coast. What is this? Do
you stay on the East Coast, or do you go to?
We go everywhere.
Travel
we go everywhere.
North Carolina.
Yeah, we haven't been to North Carolina yet, but we're on our way. lot of Florida and
I'll be right back.
whoops.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
We are going out to Seattle. We're going out California. So we're traveling. Las Vegas, I think we got some gigs coming up there.
Wow, Vegas.
Yeah, they're working on that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How you?
I wrestled and played you guys in football too. Broken chains.
How you doing for time? You
I gotta leave.
Okay.
New Zealand, yes, I played Auckland. I've done that whole part of the world, Australia, New Zealand, about 4 or 5 times.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
What's Christy Brinkley like? Read her book.
Well, before we let you go, I got to do our little rapid fire questions here, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
Anybody want to start a?
Don't make them
60 seconds this time, because
don't make them intelligent. Like I have to look smart, because I won't be able to do that.
well, some of them are stupid, but some of them are decent questions, I think.
Okay.
Maybe.
Go ahead. I'll do my best.
Who wants to start the minute and a half or 2-minute clock?
Just do it until you can't go anymore.
All right, here we go. Favorite record of all time?
Favorite record of all time, I would say. Oh my goodness!
If you were on an island,
Sgt. Pepper.
Okay, Mets or Yankees? I know this
Oh,
question.
Yanks.
Football or baseball?
Baseball.
Deep dish or thin crust?
Well, I'm Chicago, New York guy. I gotta say thin crust, New York.
Led Zeppelin or Jimi Hendrix?
Jimmy.
Giants or Jets?
Giants.
Rangers or Islanders?
Rangers.
Christy Brinkley or Christy Brinkley?
Both.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Waffles or pancakes?
Oh, wow. Pancakes.
John Coltrane or Kenny G?
Come on. And Coltrane's my man.
John Coltrane or Sonny Rollins?
Oh, wow. 2 good ones. I like them both.
Okay. Steedy or vinyl?
Vinyl.
Blonde or brunette?
Brunette.
Stratocaster or Telecaster?
Wow. I like Strat. Sorry.
Spring or fall?
Spring.
Rock or jazz?
I like them both.
Cheddar or American cheese?
Cheddar.
Christmas or Halloween?
Christmas.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Macho Man or Hulk Hogan?
Oh, Hulk Hogan.
Yes. Johnny Bean or David Nesdall? Sorry, we're out of time, everybody. No more questions.
Well, we just met.
The favorite record really threw me. I mean, because I have so many records that I love.
That's impossible.
I almost said Herbie Hancock, and it's one of the greatest records I listened to with Chameleon on it. You know, I mean, I like those records, but those people are listening are not going to know those guys. You know, so but I mean, Sgt. Pepper was a great record for me, and there's just so many great records.
I know. It's a lot of it is like, what mood are you in sometimes?
Yeah,
you know?
Steely Dan records.
Oh yeah.
You know, what about Steely Dan records?
Mm-hmm.
So,
that whole band, no matter who's in that band, is always fantastic.
Check out my music there, friend of Guru. Give me a call. Nice, Amanda.
Awesome.
All right, Ben. I'm out.
Yeah,
Richie, thanks so much. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah.
Likewise. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
I'm going to
Thank you.
My parting gift is one of these guitars. I can't thank you enough, Dave.
No problem. Take your pick.
Just don't take a striped one. They're worthless.
It's only got about 15 of them. I'm taking his dog. The best living creature here is his dog, man.
No.
Yeah, she's awesome. She loves me too. All right, I'm out.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks again, Richie.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. How'd we do? We do good?
Yeah.
People,
Yeah.
do we have anybody listen? See it?
Yeah. And this will keep going. So I mean,
Good.
it's this was just a live thing, and we
Thanks,
had a lot
Michael
of people.
Smith.
Do you know how to end the show, Dave? Because
I do know how to end the show, but Johnny's just gonna say his parting words.
Do I just say your parting words?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just give it a second.
Yeah. All right, Richie. I know you got to go. Great to meet you, man. Thank you so much for for taking part in this craziness. And thank you, Nesdal.
No problem. Thanks for showing me how to do this. And next time we do this, it'll be normal routine. You start it, and it's your show again.
Nesdal was sweating the entire time.
Well, I'm glad I know how to do it now, but I don't want to do it.
Or wait, you're sweating because Richie's there? That's why.
No. It's the only time I'm not sweating is when Richie's here. All right.
Cool. All right.
And I am still alive. Somebody just said, "Yeah, I am." And I'm pissing a lot of people off, and I'm glad to be alive.
Awesome. All right, everybody. JohnnyBean.tv, live from Texas, and we'll see you guys next time. We'll see. All right. Subscribe to David Nesdal channel.
Yes, please. I've got a lot of subscriptions since this.
Yeah. All right, Jay Hannon. Good to see you.
See you guys.
Don't hang up. We'll see you guys next time. JohnnyBean.tv. Bye. Oh, wait,
See ya.
Dave, it's your turn. Do it.
Yep, I got it. See you later.